All offseason, all I heard from the media was about how the window was closing for the Buffalo Bills. They said it would take a Josh Allen MVP season to even make the playoffs. There was no receivers on this roster, the O-line wasn't anything noteworthy, and the running game wasn't going to be much better than before. But now here we are, with the Buffalo Bills sitting with a 7-2 record with Amari Cooper on the roster, and it seems like they aren't done yet. The Bills have broken the script, and we can't keep ignoring it. It's time to take this team seriously. And before we get into everything, let's go all the way back to this offseason. All the way back to some of the most outrageous takes we've ever seen. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind.
Greg? Look, I agree with one thing. There will be one division winner that makes the playoffs, and one team that makes the playoffs from this division.
Oh, wow.
I just disagree that it's going to be the Bills. I believe it's going to be the Jets.
On the move, Allen to the air. Touchdown. Allen out of the backfield. Davis, room to roam. Oh, he got by Fuller. He broke a tackle in there by Fuller, and he's off to the races. And a 63-yard touchdown catch and run.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills proved everyone wrong, but it hasn't been easy, and there is still a ton of work to do. Let's go all the way back to week 1 at home against the Arizona Cardinals. This was a really tough test to start out the season. This was a game the Bills were supposed to win, but this was the first time we would see the young and inexperienced receiving corps in action. And the Cardinals came into this game with a ton of energy and excitement, with Kyler Murray finally healthy and back on the field again, along with the generational draft pick they selected in Marvin Harrison Jr. And Arizona started this game off hot with a 10-0 lead, but Buffalo was unfazed and came all the way back to squeeze out a 6-point win. The defense was the unit that won this game. They held Kyler Murray to only 162 yards and 1 touchdown. And once Josh Allen got into a rhythm, the Bills' offense soared. Allen threw for 232 yards with 2 touchdowns. Khalil Shakir had his first touchdown of the season. And all year, I talked about how important getting him going early was, because he was basically stepping into the #1 receiver role. So proving to himself that he could do it was going to be huge. And the Bills carried that momentum into the early season, starting off 3-0. They dropped one game to the Ravens and then lost to the Texans, but since then, they have locked in, winning 4 straight games, including the recent 30-27 win over the Miami Dolphins. And the last 4 games are really what I want to take a deep dive into. Let's start with the offense. Josh Allen has been, well, Josh Allen. He's been putting up really solid numbers, throwing for 588 yards and 5 touchdowns in the last 2 games alone. But let's be real for a second. He's still got some work to do. His decision making has been much improved year after year, but he definitely is known for having a bit of a loose cannon, especially when he passes up open receivers early in his progressions. Sometimes it's like he's always looking for the home run play, which is great when it works, but can lead to some unnecessary risks. And speaking of risks, Allen's interception rate has been a topic of discussion. Last season, 3.1% of his passes were picked off, which is higher than you'd like to see. The good news, he's only thrown 2 so far this season. It's a significant improvement from his 18 last season. But we'll need to see if he can maintain this level of ball security as the season progresses in the upcoming tough tests. And let's talk about the breakout star of the Dolphins game, Ray Davis. This rookie has been turning heads, and for good reason. Against Miami, Davis rushed for 20 yards on 4 carries, which doesn't sound like much until you hear about his receiving stats. 2 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown. That's right. He broke free for a 63-yard receiving touchdown that had the whole stadium on their feet. Davis has been running crisp routes and creating separation, showing he's more than just a traditional running back. His ability to contribute in the passing game adds a whole nother dimension to the Bills' offense. But Davis isn't the only young gun making waves. Khalil Shakir has been steadily improving his game. His route running has become more precise, and he's starting to develop some chemistry with Allen. His ability to find soft spots in zone coverage has been crucial in moving the chains, especially on big 3rd downs. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, Amari Cooper. When the Bills traded for him, expectations became even more sky high. I'm not saying fans were already planning the Super Bowl parade or anything like that, but the truth is, Cooper's first few games have not been earth-shattering. He's definitely upgraded the receiving corps, but he's not a magic bullet that suddenly makes the Bills unbeatable. That said, his presence has opened up opportunities for other receivers, and his veteran leadership in the locker room can't be overstated. I know he kind of lost himself in Cleveland, was dropping a ton of balls, and made it clear he wasn't happy, but that's not the kind of guy he is. Cleveland is just Cleveland, so it didn't count. I think he's going to be a great lead by example kind of guy for the young receivers, especially in big games later on in the season. On the defensive side of the ball, the Bills have been a mixed bag. They've shown flashes of brilliance, but their pass defense against the Dolphins was just okay. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle only combined for 76 yards. Well, really it was just Hill, because Waddle had -4 yards. But Achane had 58 with a touchdown, and Smith had 46 yards on 5 catches. The secondary, led by Rasul Douglas and Teron Johnson, has been for the most part playing lights out. Their ability to lock down receivers has given the front 7 more time to get to the quarterback. But again, there's always room to get better. But there's a reason this team is off to the 7-2 start that they're off to. In terms of overall defense, injuries are a part of life in the NFL. That's how it has always been, and that's how it will always be in a brutally physical game that can take a devastating toll on the human body. Every team endures them, but the ones that are built the right way, with consistency in coaching and systems that allows depth players to be ready to take over when a starter goes down, are the teams that can usually overcome a run of injuries. And in the past 2 years, the Buffalo Bills defense has certainly been put to the test. Last year, the defense was crushed by injuries to such players as Tre'Davious White, Matt Milano, Daquan Jones, and Terrell Bernard, and that toll finally caught up to them in their AFC Divisional Round playoff loss to the Chiefs. This year, there has been more bad luck, as Bernard, Milano, Johnson, Ed Oliver, Smoot, and Taylor Rapp have missed at least one game, with Milano having yet to dress following a training camp injury that will keep him out until probably December. Through it all, the Bills have carried on as they rank 6th in the NFL in points allowed at 18.3 per game, and they are 6th in takeaways with 14, 5th in passing yards per attempt at 6, and 6th in lowest red zone TD percentage allowed at 42.8%. Offensively, I think the Bills could benefit from more play-action passes. Allen's numbers with play-action are significantly better. His completion percentage jumps by 5.5%, and his passer rating skyrockets by 30 points when using play-action concepts. So incorporating more of these plays could lead to more explosive gains downfield. But I'm no expert at all, to be honest. You fans that watch every single game probably know a bit more than me about how this offense can become even better. So let me know how you guys think the Bills can improve in the comments below. Here's what Josh Allen, along with a few others, had to say about this Bills' hot start to the season.
I got emotional in my little post-game speech out there. Just the trials and tribulations that he's been throughout this year. Obviously missing one early in the day, hitting the pole on another. You know, he could easily put it in the tank, and 61-yard field goal to win a game against a division rival. It's what stories are made of, and I love him. I respect him so much. Everybody in that locker room is so happy for him, and he's our guy.
And late in the ball game, Josh Allen emerged. That's the thing about him. You know, you have to be able to weather the storm and be patient with Josh Allen, because the first quarter they came out a bit flat. He came out a bit flat. But you know, when you need to make a play, who do you call? Mr. Allen. He showed up, and this is why this is a team that's starting to really surge in the right direction.
So overall, I really do think people need to start paying more attention to the Buffalo Bills, because even though so many people thought this team wouldn't do anything with them having as young of a receiving core as they have, Josh Allen has stepped up, Cooks has stepped up, so many guys have stepped up, and the Bills are clicking on all cylinders, and they are showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon. That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point. And if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.